Coming up next, the Sport Report. We cover all of the news and the results from the night before in the sports world. Become an expert on sports in under 15 minutes. Today, Chandler with Sports covers the MLB games, the NFL slate, and the NHL contests, as well as some soccer from yesterday.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
And I'm Chandler, and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Welcome to a special edition of this all-crazy sports newscast.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report.
Chandler with Sports is how he wants to go. With is his middle name, Sports his last name.
I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports. With that in mind, here we go. Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Monday, October 7th, 2019.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report. Before we jump into the results from yesterday, let's catch up on the top story of the night. This is top of the order.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes!
There is no time remaining.
He came up 1 yard short.
Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop.
It's showtime. It's party time.
This is top of the order.
It's been a while since we've had the Sport Report. We do apologize for that. We will be back on a regular basis in 2 weeks. Since we've been off the air, the NFL has reached week 5 of its regular season, and our top story comes from Kansas City, Missouri. Sunday night football between the Indianapolis Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs. Indianapolis Colts 19, Kansas City Chiefs 13. The Colts led 7-3 early through a Jacoby Brissett touchdown run. Patrick Mahomes brought the Chiefs back to 10 apiece by halftime with a 27-yard touchdown pass to Byron Pringle. He ran for over 50 yards on the play, Mahomes did, and he did well in the game overall. He was 22 of 39 for 321 yards in this game. But the real story was a banged-up Colts defense that really showed up in prime-time football. Colts win by 6 thanks to 4 field goals by Adam Vinatieri, who has seemed to solve almost all of his kicking woes that he'd had earlier in the season. In the NFL, there were 12 other games on the calendar, including, as we said, Major League Baseball playoffs and the National Hockey League in its 5th day of its regular season. Let's get to football.
Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn! A miracle in Jordan Hare!
Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable! He ran the missed field goal back. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl.
How in the world?
Oh my goodness!
Around the NFL.
There were 13 NFL regular season games on the calendar.
New England Patriots 33, Washington Redskins 7. The Pats improved to 5-0 on the season. The Redskins are flipped at 0-5. Carolina Panthers 34, Jacksonville Jaguars 27. The Jaguars had 4 Hail Marys at the end of the game, but all of them were swatted away by a Panthers defender. Christian McCaffrey was on a roll in this game for the Carolina Panthers. Former Stanford running back had 19 carries for 176 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns, including 6 receptions for 61 yards and a touchdown through the air from the backup quarterback Kyle Allen, who's replaced Cam Newton, who has a foot injury for the time being. Christian McCaffrey becomes the second running back in NFL history behind Jim Brown to have 175 yards or more from scrimmage in 4 of his team's first 5 games in a season. Arizona Cardinals 26, Cincinnati Bengals 23. The Cardinals get their first win under the new partnership of head coach Cliff Kingsbury and new quarterback Kyler Murray. The Bengals fall to 0-5 as they lose on a last-second field goal by Zane Gonzalez. Houston Texans 53, Atlanta Falcons 32. The Texans win by 3 touchdowns, those 3 touchdowns coming courtesy of Will Fuller. Deshaun Watson threw for over 400 yards, and he had 5 passing touchdowns. He becomes the first NFL quarterback to do just that, while having 5 or fewer incompletions in the game. New Orleans Saints 31, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24. The Bucs made it interesting late with a 26-yard touchdown pass from Jameis Winston to Chris Godwin, but the Saints hold on. They're 3-0 under backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater as starting quarterback Drew Brees is out with a left thumb injury. Minnesota Vikings 28, New York Giants 10. The The Giants couldn't get anything going under backup quarterback and rookie out of Duke, the 6th overall pick Daniel Jones. He's replaced Eli Manning for the last 4 weeks for the Giants. In this game, it didn't help that much. The Giants fall to 2-3, losing by 18. Adam Thielen had 2 touchdowns for Minnesota. Oakland Raiders 24, Chicago Bears 21. Backup quarterback Chase Daniel has replaced Mitchell Trubisky, who's out with a shoulder injury. There are a lot of backup quarterbacks in the NFL since we were last on air. Well, he tried to drive the Bears down. They came back from 17-0 earlier in the game to lead 21-17 before a Josh Jacobs touchdown made it a 3-point ball game. As we said, the Bears drove down, tried to get into field goal range, but to no avail. Raiders by 3 for the first time under John Gruden in his second stint as head coach of the Raiders. The Raiders have won back-to-back games. Philadelphia Eagles 31, New York Jets 6. The Eagles had 2 defensive touchdowns in this game. Sam Darnold should be back next week for the Jets. He was out this week and the last few weeks with mono. In overtime in Pittsburgh, Baltimore Ravens 26, Pittsburgh Steelers 23. In a back-and-forth game, Steelers went to their third-string quarterback after starter and second-string quarterback, technically, Mason Rudolph went down with a concussion thanks to a hit from Earl Thomas. The Steelers rebounded, took the lead late, and then Justin Tucker hit 2 clutch field goals for the Ravens, 1 at the end of regulation and 1 in overtime to give the Ravens the win. The Ravens had a turnover in overtime to set up the final game-winning kick from Tucker. Buffalo Bills 14, Tennessee Titans 7. Not a lot of offense in this ball game, but Cairo Santos, the new kicker for the Titans, missed 4 field goals in this game for Tennessee. Denver Broncos 20, LA Chargers 13. The Broncos led 17-0, and the 0-4 squad were looking to go 1-4, and then they almost went 0-5. But the Chargers' offense stalled. Phillip Rivers had 2 interceptions in this ball game, effectively ending any chance that the Chargers had. Broncos by 7 on the road. Green Bay Packers 34, Dallas Cowboys 24. Aaron Jones ties a Packers team record by having 4 touchdowns in a game, first Packers player to do that since the early 2000s. Amari Cooper also had over 200 yards of receiving, similar to Texans receiver Will Fuller. Amari Cooper only had 1 touchdown compared to Fuller's 3. The Cowboys trailed 31-3, and like most games with the Packers, they came from behind and tried to make this interesting very late. Brett Maher missed 2 field goals in this game, including one where a false start iced him. You can say the Cowboys iced their own kicker. Poor clock management from them as well throughout the game. And finally, as we said, Indianapolis Colts 19, Kansas City Chiefs 13. From football to football, some notable results in football. Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 1. Newcastle are near bottom of the table, and Manchester United are heading that way. After the international break this upcoming week, Manchester United will face their Northwest rivals in a Northwest derby, Liverpool, at Old Trafford. October 20th. We'll actually have that result for you on our first day back on Normal Sport Report podcasts. Manchester City 0, Wolves 2. Wolves scored twice inside the final 10 minutes in stoppage time to take down the 2-time defending champions and stunning them at the Etihad. It's Pep Guardiola's 4th loss in 61 matches at the Etihad as manager of Manchester City. Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 0. David Luiz came over from Chelsea, and instead of making an error, he made a goal. The lone goal for the Gunners. Southampton 1, Chelsea 4. Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount had the opening 2 goals for the Blues. N'Golo Kante and Michy Batshuayi had 2 other goals for Chelsea. Danny Ings had the lone goal for Southampton. Around Europe, Eintracht Frankfurt 2, Werder Bremen 2. Juventus 2, Inter Milan 1. Gonzalo Higuain had the game winner for Juventus 10 minutes from time. Juventus go top of the table in Serie A by a single point over Inter. Juve are the only club to have yet to lose a match in Serie A this season. Barcelona 4, Sevilla 0. Lionel Messi had a wonderful free kick, but the story of this match was Luis Suarez in the 27th minute. A bicycle kick put La Blaugrana up 1-0. 3 more goals from Barca make it a 4-0 scoreline. And the final day of Major League Soccer, Atlanta United 3, New England Revolution 1. DC United 0, FC Cincinnati 0. FC Dallas 6, Sporting Kansas City 0. Houston Dynamo 4, LA Galaxy 2. In Tim Howard's final match for the Colorado Rapids, LAFC 3, Rapids 1. Montreal Impact 3, New York Red Bulls 0. Orlando City 2, Chicago Fire 5. Philadelphia Union 1, New York City FC 2. Portland Timbers 3, San Jose Earthquakes 1. Seattle Sounders 1, Minnesota United 0. Toronto FC 1, Columbus Crew 0. And finally, Vancouver Whitecaps 0, Real Salt Lake 1. Now for Major League Baseball, the 2 playoff games.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
And Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it.
Touch 'em all, Joe.
Home run! Mike Piazza.
Jeter backhands from the outfield grass. Got it! Man, what a play!
Now for Major League Baseball.
The MLB lineup from yesterday includes 2 games.
Atlanta Braves 3, St. Louis Cardinals 1. The Braves scored 3 runs in the top half of the 9th inning to take a 2-1 National League Division Series lead over the St. Louis Cardinals. The Braves, for the first time since Game 6 of the 1999 National League Championship Series against the Mets, come from behind in the 9th inning or later to win a postseason game. They lost 34 in a row when trailing in the 9th inning or later, which was the 4th longest streak in baseball. LA Dodgers 10, Washington Nationals 4. The Dodgers scored 7 runs in the 6th inning and 2 more in the 9th, along with 1 in the 5th, to make it a 10-4 ball game. And with Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg looming for the Nationals starting rotation, the Dodgers needed to win this one. Tomorrow's game will be Game 4 in this series, as well as the other NLDS game. The 2 ALDS series will be the Houston Astros at the Tampa Bay Rays. Houston leads 2-0 in the best of 5. The Yankees also lead 2-0 over the Minnesota Twins. That one a best of 5 as well. Finally, we transition to the National Hockey League.
Back in front door, shot, scores! Bobby O from Sanderson!
Metto! Rebound chance in front. Taking is there. Puck comes free. Score! Score!
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Around the NHL. The NHL regular season schedule includes 3 games.
3 games on the NHL schedule, as we said. In overtime, Carolina Hurricanes 4, Tampa Bay Lightning 3. The Lightning scored all 3 of their goals in the first period. They had 13 shots on goal, including 11 in the first period. New York Islanders 4, Winnipeg Jets 1. And finally, Detroit Red Wings 4, Dallas Stars 3. Anthony Mantha becomes the first Red Wings player since Brendan Shanahan in 2001 to have 4 goals in a Red Wings home game.
That's the Sport Report for
Monday, October 7th, 2019. We'll be back for another edition of the Sport Report very soon. Just remember, October 21st, 2 weeks from today, we will be back on a normal basis. Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back very soon with the latest in sports. This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Chandler Sports is strictly prohibited.